Hi everyone. Today I did the tag of, Tim Holtz 12 tracks of 2012, and this will be the August tag. His version obviously is more impacting in my belief, but I just went ahead and do my own little thing with the materials I had, because I didn't have all of it. He came out with certain new things I really don't have, and I would love to, but it's kind of, it's kind of difficult to get everything. So for me, it's just, a matter of having fun and learning. It's a learning process, and there's a lot of the materials that he used, I wished I had. He used, several different stamps. He used black embossing powder, which I don't have. He used an embossing folder that has an oval look cover, which is that type of embossing folder that has like a protection to a center of the piece, so you don't emboss that part of whatever you're doing, of your project you're doing. Usually when you use an embossing folder, the embossing folder will emboss everything, but this embossing folders have like a plate covering like the center of something that you are protecting from embossing that area. So obviously I didn't have that. Then of course he used a daver. The color was juniper. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. Let's see. He used a bunch of things that I really don't have, including, a dye to create the flowers and the leaves and the branches. So my little project kinda came a little bit close to what he did, and I'm gonna show you exactly what he did. I mean, like, well, what I did, not what he did. Following his steps, of course. Like I said, if you want to learn how to use, or how to do this, you just go to his website and then you check it out, and then you can have fun. It's a fun thing. August is the month number 8, and this will be my number 8 tag from this year already. So I'm kind of excited because we're coming close to Christmas, so it will be over. The next thing I know, I will have all these tags done, and I mean, like, every time I do one of these, it's amazing, and it is an amazing experience. And not only that, the way, you create these things, it's just fun, plain fun. So, like I said, I didn't have all the materials he had. I just came up with what I had. I used an embossing folder that is not even close to what he used, because I didn't have anything that will resemble that. I didn't have the embossing powder. As you can see, there's a frame around the silhouette that is embossed. For that I use a copper embossing powder that I had, and then the silhouette was one of my friends sent me from the Cricut cut. He uses a stamp. I don't have the stamp either, so I used that silhouette. Kind of similar, not the same. The flowers and the branches is just the die cut that I have, that I've been using like crazy for like every little project I have. It's a pretty neat die cut from Sizzix, and it's like branches and leaves. And instead of sanding off, which was he did, the branches and leaves he used, I did use that sand off paper. I don't know if you can appreciate that. Let me see if I do a little close up here. There we go. You can see that the branches are kind of sand off a little bit, and that's because I used that paper that he uses for doing that. But instead of sanding off the leaves, all I did was use my stickles, and I used the Distress Stickle Peel Paint, and this is the color that I could, you know, resemble what he did. The flowers, these are my regular paper flowers I have, and all I did was dye them, because usually these ones are like pink and blue, and but he used 3 colors. He used blue, he used yellow, and kind of like a tattered rose, and all I did was dye them up with the distress stains. And then for the background on the embossing part here, I, instead of using that dabber that he had, because I didn't have the similarity that I used was this patina, which I had for a while now, and that kind of makes that wax metallic finish. But this is a rub and buff paint. These are very tough to use, but once you learn how to use them, it's really easy. You know, this rub and buff, what they do is they kind of like make that vintage look, and that's exactly what I wanted it, because that's exactly the color he used. So the embellishments, they're not the same, and what I did here was, you know, this little pearls I put in. I had a little vintage key, and then for this little thing here, he has I think he has a set that they look like the typewriter look, that they're like a black and letter. I didn't have that, and on top of that, when I did this one, I don't know, for some reason the paper that I was using was not quite as good, and it cannot, see how it's white there? It kind of came messed up, but it's okay because it looks vintage. But he used the letter R, so my target was to use an R2 as well. So I took it off from one sticker of his collection, and then I created the little embellishment there. As well, a pin, and this pin is number 98, and it says vintage. And of course, his little ribbons I dyed up with Victorian velvet. He uses tattered roses for that, but I didn't have tattered roses. So there you go. That's my tag for August. When I think I've said this before, when I finish all the tags, I'll show them all together. So thanks again for watching, and if you like what you see, please rate, comment, and subscribe, and come back soon. Goodbye.